bring amateur radio, because some of those are killer places to play radio from. Especially in VHF and above. K5SCR to take it. KB7DQH.
K9PQ.
Uh-oh. Well, let's let the interloper have a say.
Hi, this is Bob, K9PQ, and we have a net that was scheduled to start at 8 p.m. tonight.
That's right, the Television Society. Yeah, we better clear out of here and let you guys get it going. It's interesting to see what topics of discussion come up. KV7DQH.
Yeah, thank you guys. KI5SCR clear. WW7WI Olympia clear.
Thanks very much, guys. Appreciate it. This is Bob, K9PQ, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net. So I have not got my video up yet, so if you could just come and give me your check-ins, I'll write them down here. So who's checking into the net tonight?
Oh, Bob, I just put it to streaming for you. If you want to throw a telephone signal out there, this is WW7ATS.
Connected N7KC. Connected WU7N. Oh, sure, I could pick up the 1250 signal off of Cougar from here. As I mentioned earlier, the 900 FM repeater and the 7-element Yagi and 25 watts, and I can't even hear the thing, nor can I even hear it. But I've got a 10-foot dish that I might have to build a feed for and see if that's got enough gain. Get something, through the woods here. K9PQ, KB7DQH.
Okay, KB7DQH, and there were a couple of people that doubled with you. I didn't get your name. Can I get your name?
Certainly. Name here is Eric. Echo Romeo India Charlie.
Okay, very good, Eric. Well, glad to have you with us. So I've got WU7N, and thanks for that, James, for switching it over. But I haven't. I was a bit late getting to the computer, so I haven't got it all set up. And I heard N7KC on Echolink as well. So we've got Lee and James and Eric checked in. Anyone else tonight?
KD7QKU.
Hey there, Ron. We've got you. Anyone else? Okay, well, I'm going to put myself at the bottom of the list so that I can have a chance to get all my video stuff up and going. So let's start off with James, WU7N. Go ahead, James.
Okay, so this is James, WU7N. Looks like Ron is switching the repeater tonight. Thank you, Ron. So let's see, let's toss the picture up here, see what we can get off the mountaintop. Well, that's not a bad picture. A little bit of white out there in the lower right. Amazing how well that hat shows up, isn't it? Anyway, well, beautiful day today. Looks like we're having just an absolutely wonderful summer where we have a few days of nice, warm, hot weather, and I guess it's scheduled to rain on Friday. I think that's what I saw from the last weather guess. So this is just great. Everything's watered enough to not be a fire hazard, and yet we still have wonderful weather to do stuff in. Let's see, Renton Fish and Game is hosting a big type of competition where people dress up in period costumes, and I hope to get some video from that maybe over the next, by the next time, maybe Wednesday it'll be, because Saturday is the competition day. So, If you've never seen that, that's really kind of amazing. These people just put huge amounts of time, money, energy, and effort into their costumes, and then they compete in various kinds of cowboy-oriented shooting sports. So anyway, that's it for me, first round here. This is Whiskey Uniform 7 November, WU7N. Let me turn it back to net control.
Okay, very good, James. Well, that would be fun to get some video from that. I look forward to that. Okay, on we go to Ron, K87QKU, and Ron, you can just have N7KC lead follow you.
Okay, this is Ron, K87QKU. I'm just trying to check Dave. I was surprised Dave's not here. So let's see, as most of you know, I had hip replacement surgery a week ago this Monday, and tonight's my first night back. Today I had physical therapy. It has me walking with a cane and without a cane, and riding on a bicycle and doing all sorts of things. So I think I'm doing really well. I was a little bit sore from the physical therapy, but I iced it down for a while. I'm pretty good now. So this morning I listened to the Lyman Hill repeater, the 145-190. Comes on at 6:45. And this morning they talked about APRS. Yesterday we talked about, digital. I don't know what they're going to talk about tomorrow. This guy named Witt's running the net this week, and so he has a topic of conversation every day. So I learned a lot about APRS, and then some of you know Dave, KN7S. He has a boat. He lives in Anacortes now. And so you go to Google and you put in WAPRS.FI, and you bring up the map that shows everybody, and then you can search. And so I did a search for KN7S. KN7, I think it's just, I get Lee and Dave mixed up. So anyway, he showed his boat. He was up on the British Columbia side, and he was up in Garden Harbor, I think it was called, quite a bit farther north in Victoria. So he's been out for about a week or two with his boat. So that was kind of interesting. And then someone mentioned, let me let it drop for a second. I don't know how much you guys know about APRS. I don't know anything about it till today, hardly. Jessica, used it, and she used to do it when she was had the PSRG net, and she was wanting to find her location. So on my computer here, I probably have the same thing as the APRS.FI. And if I'm not mistaken, they said you could use your cell phone to transmit the signal. And you might have to have those little gizmos, like you have, James. Plug in somehow, and it sends out a signal every 3 or 4 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever you want, and it'll give your location to your cell phone. But I'm not sure about that. I might have missed that. So I'm going to have to ask those guys about that, I think. So anyway, all right, let's go over to Lee. Lee probably knows all about APRS. Oh, I got to do one thing.
Okay, very good. This is Lee N7KC. I'm in Port Angeles. And just as a point of note, one of the fellows that was on when the net started was Gary Hart, W7WWI down in Olympia. And if he's still listening, I want to say hi to Gary tonight. Abner. We've talked a few times on the phone, and it's always fun. Let's see, what's going on here? Oh, APRS. Well, I'm most familiar now with AIS, the Automated Identification System for Marine. If you have a boat that's 65 feet or longer, it's mandatory that you have the Automated Identification System on your vessel, so you can be seen. overlaid on maps of other vessels in the area. And they have a couple of classes of it for the Marine. But the APRS, I remember back in the early days of it, in fact, I remember somebody was driving someplace in North Seattle, and they were actually crossing Green Lake in the middle of it. So that wasn't too good. But at any rate, the idea there is, of course, you have to have a GPS unit in your vehicle, and the GPS unit gives you the numerical coordinates, and those coordinates then get stuck into your radio and get burst out periodically. And they go to a special repeater, then that FI thing, at least this is how it worked several years ago, and then they would overlay them on a map so you could, anybody could go and see where you were. So, I don't know, they probably made mutual improvements in it since I last looked into it. And I'm never too excited about having everybody know exactly where I was, so I didn't get too excited about that, but it's certainly good for marine use, although it is called AIS, and if you're interested in that for marine use, you go to Marine Traffic, and that's an excellent spot to check that out. It's really, really nice. Gives you all kinds of information on where the ship is registered, the registry, and size and weight. Oh, I'm out of time. I better quit. Well, I'm here courtesy of EchoLink, and my video is courtesy of Ron. It looks really good on the screen tonight. So anyway, with that, this is M7KC, in Port Angeles. Back to you, Bob, and we're trying to figure out what happened to Dave tonight. So go ahead, Bob.
One more comment. Lee, if you have a chance, Google that, APRS.FI, and you can see the map that it brings up. And it's quite interesting. It has all kinds of stuff on it, weather and everything else. Back to that 87.
Okay, very good, Ron and Lee. And yeah, Ron, you have an outstanding signal. There's Dave. We have an outstanding video signal tonight. And Dave's got a pretty good one there too. So Dave, let's go right to you. Welcome back. And KD7ZYM, this is K9PQ and the WatsNet. Go ahead, Dave.
Hi, this is KD7ZYM. I'm sorry it got late. I got watching the debate tonight, and after the debate they were having some discussion. I was listening to that. It was kind of an interesting debate, and lots of things have to happen before the election. With all the parties involved and deciding which is going to be the best candidate to oppose Trump. So it was kind of interesting to see different viewpoints tonight. Well, here in Lake City, beautiful weather today. Nice sunshine all day. I was able to get out, go for a nice walk in the neighborhood. And let's see, looking across, I've got 75 degrees outside. And in the shack, it's like 82, so it's a little bit on the warm side here. So anyway, got back, getting caught up with a lot of things around the house and around the area that I neglected over the last few weeks being gone. So anyway, thanks for letting me pop in here, and I'll send it back. 87CYM.
HYB. Okay, we've got you, Gary. Let me put you on the list. I'll slip you right in there next as well. E7HYB. And, yeah, good to have you back, Dave. Okay, well, I'll have more to say on my turn, and let's go to Gary, K7HYB. This is K9PQ and the WatsNet.
Good evening, all. James, and I haven't heard Jim in there yet. Bob, it's good to hear you back. Dave, nice to see you. Nice to be it's good to be seen as well as heard, I guess, with the saying goes. That's not a very good picture of the wide shot. Let me get the long shot in there and see if that's any better. Well, maybe a little better. Anyway, I'm a little scruffy today. I hadn't shaved. So I'm just picking up my weather forecast here. It's 74 degrees outside and 43% humidity. Had a beautiful day. I didn't get outside. I stepped outside to talk to the UPS guy, and that was about as close as I got to going outside. I've been busy all day with inside projects, and no wind, and hardly any, and no rain either for the last 24 hours. So it's been pretty nice deal. That's what my phone's telling me anyway. My phone hooks up with an app for my weather station here at the house, and I don't have a very good position for my anemometer, but if there's any surface winds, it picks that pretty good. I should put it out on the garage where it's about 20 to 30 feet in the air, but I can't climb up that high with stability to do anything. So that will wait for another day when I can get somebody with some legs out here. I don't have any anymore. And my signal keeps dropping out. I guess the repeater, believe it or not, on the output on 1.2 gig is really quite strong. Let me drop it here. The output is really quite strong tonight, probably anywhere between 10 or 15 dB above what normally is. And I still got to get out there and take a look at that antenna. The signal coming to the repeater from my 440 side is about average, maybe a little worse than that. Probably down about a P2 tonight. So it's not terribly good. Anyway, enough of my battle on this go-around. Back to you, Bob, K9PQ, and the net. This is Kilowatt 7 Hotel Yankee Bravo.
Okay, very good, Gary. Yeah, you've got a pretty good signal tonight. It's, the usual, kind of noisy, but not bad. So let's go to Eric, KB7DQH, joining us tonight. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, here it is, Eric, KB7DQH, with a question. I suppose we'll start out with, I've got a, NTSC capture card. So basically it's a, card bus, slot, plugs in the computer, and it actually has a, VHF, UHF television tuner, and can basically, pick up all the known over-the-air television allocations, over-the-air or cable. You can configure it for the old school cable TV channels, which of course will mean it'll tune up 434 megahertz directly. And it allows the computer to sit there and display it on the VGA monitor, or make MP, some early, I think it's MPEG 2 or something like that, will record the video until you run out of hard disk space in MPEG 2. The question I have is what's the preferred method of converting the video output from your typical computing device into NTSC for broadcast? Or are we back to just simply getting a decent camera and focusing it in on the monitor? I suppose that's the cheap and dirty way to do it, unless somebody's got a gizmo that'll actually do that. Or if you can take the break out the red, green, blue composite signal and make that into NTSC by some bit of magical electronics that I haven't seen any of. So that's sort of the question, is how you guys doing that? KB7DQH back to net control.
Okay, well, that's good timing. It's my turn, and I have an answer for you. In fact, I had one. It kind of went on the fritz, and I just got one today. I haven't actually got it hooked up, I'm embarrassed to say, but and I'm going to have to look it up, but I got it from Amazon, and they're cheap. It's like $10, $12, something like that. And it takes HDMI in. Hopefully your computer's new enough to do HDMI. I did have one that took the input to an analog monitor. So I think you might still be able to get both, but this one takes HDMI in, and it puts out the standard composite, the yellow, white, and red, the yellow video, red and white audio stereo outputs. So my next go around, I'll have that information, or I might just break in with it. I'll get from Amazon and get you that info. My big news is like Ron, health related, and Ron, I'm glad to hear you're doing so well, and I apologize for not calling you. It's been a busy week, and it just slipped my mind. I apologize. We had a memorial service for my uncle, and I had family in town, and brother staying here at my place, and so just a lot going on. But my real big news is that my CPAP finally came, and they came out yesterday and set me up with it, and it's fantastic. I've only just had one night with it, and I was warned that it may take some adjustment. There may be an adjustment period, but I slept really well last night, and for the first time, and I can't remember how long, I woke up rested. I mean, I've slept for 12 hours and not felt rested, and so I'm very hopeful and excited by that first night, and I hope it continues that way. And I think it's going to make a big difference in my life. I'll tell you that. So I'll leave it at that for my first go around. Thanks for doing the switching there, Ron. And I'm going to just do I'm going to change the order a little bit. I'm going to put myself after Dave, so hopefully I can have a good signal before Gary wrecks it. No offense, Gary. Okay, back to James. This is Bob, K9PQ, and the WatsNet.
Okay, well, thanks, Bob. First of all, thank you very much, K9PQ, for the reference for the surgeon that did your hip. He might be doing mine here real soon. And let me get a camera up here, and I'll answer Eric's question. Oops. Hey, that's interesting. I'm still in the air. My power was cut off, and I'm still here. Anyway, this right here, if I can actually get a picture that's edible. This picture here is the box I use. It's the same as Bob's, and it's called the Mini HDMI 12AV, and mine too was just dirt cheap. The clever people in China take the HDMI signal over on this side, and they move it out as a 1-to-1 speed volt video signal over here. And the lettering that's a little washed out, they call it an upscaler 1080p, which is a fancy way of saying you don't get something for nothing, and if you skim the video off the top, you lose something. So I go from a 1080p image down to an NTSC and lose quite a bit of resolution, but that's for the limitations of the NTSC transmitter. I use a PC electronics transmitter, and so I hope that answers the question. AIS and the amateur reporting system, I did not know the limitation was 65 feet. It's interesting, in aviation, the AVIS system is analogous, and it was a requirement for all aircraft to switch over to that, which I think is the same idea. The GPS satellites tell the plane exactly where it's at, and then the plane transmits that information so everybody can keep track of everybody else and hopefully not crash into each other. So anyway, well, let's see. Beautiful weather. Oh, a comment on Gary's picture. Gary, you're a solid 3. I could see you. I guess you can see yourself on streaming. And both Bob and Dave and Ron and of course Lee all have gorgeous signals tonight. I've got a little bit of a lighting problem. I'll see if I can fix next time around. So anyway, I hope that answered Eric's question as far as how I'm getting a signal straight off the PC. As you can see right now, I've got Echo linked up and showing. And here's my identifier, courtesy Microsoft Paint 3D. I also have a video camera that I can feed directly into the NTSC transmitter and do it that way as well. So I hope that answers Eric's question. Bob, let me turn it back to you in net control. This is WU7S.
Okay, well, very good, James. And unfortunately, it wasn't as clear as it could be. It still hasn't quite recovered yet, and so it wasn't as clear as your first go-around. But just one more data point for you, Eric. I'm looking at the order that I made, and this thing seems to have, different manufacturers, as is common with a lot of cheaper Chinese things. The one they're showing right now is the maker is NEEGO, and it's $10.90. So not going to break the bank. Okay, with that, let's go on to Ron, KD7QKU. This is K9PQ in the WatsonNet.
Okay, I have to switch my radio. This is Ron, KD7QKU. Well, John, I guess it is, down there by Shelton. There's a guy that lives south of you. His name is Jim Nodell, Nodell. His call sign is WB7ATS. He hangs out on the Ba-Fa repeater. And he's got a whole bunch of TV equipment, and he needs somebody to play with. I could give you his phone number. I don't know if he would want me to give it out over there, but I could also give you his email address. If the two of you could kind of hook up, he's got extra equipment. We might get together with him and maybe have some fun. So something to think about. If you're interested, it was WB7BHN, and his name was Jim Nodell, Nodell. He hangs out on the Ba-Fa repeater. He came up here once to see us and visit with us. A nice guy. We're all about the same age. He's no youngster, but he was really interested in these. So that's about it. So anyway, I guess I'll turn it over to Lee and see what you have.
Okay, I got my timer started. This is Lee on 7KC. Up on the streets of Juan de Fuca, lovely Port Angeles. We thought it was going to rain this morning. The weather app on the phone, the Weather Underground, said we were going to have rain starting at mid-1:45. Well, we didn't. Anyway, we could sure use it. Okay, it looks like the streaming system has recovered. The video that Ron is putting up for me is pretty nice. Hi, Gary. Good to hear you tonight. And Bob, it's been a long time since I've heard you. Nice to have you back on the air. And Dave, we were wondering what happened to you over there. I might have to send out a health and welfare party or something like that. Make sure you're okay. Oh my, I don't have anything else, except I was very interested in that little device Bob just described. And the price is certainly right. So I jotted down the manufacturer. I thought I might take a look. You know what? My phone, Ron, is tied up with the Echo link. They're on my phone. Anyway, yesterday I was working. We have a shed that attaches to the west side of our house, and it's kind of for bird seed and things like that, some deer food, and emergency stuff for the house and all that. Well, it didn't have shelves in it, so the last couple of days I've been doing shelves in there. I've got 30. Is that what it is? 30 or 36 lineal feet of shelf in there now. It's quite nice. And all that. Well, anyway, so yesterday I got my back to the door and I hear some rustling behind me. And I turned around and there's two multi-point bucks. I guess they're 3-point, or were they 4-point? 3-point, I think. They're still in velvet. They're lovely animals. And they were fawns at our place, maybe, 4 years ago, something like that. And I hadn't seen these guys in a long time, and by golly, they came back wanting a handout. So they weren't concerned with me at all. They didn't get upset, and so I wasn't 10 feet from them. Stood there, talked a little bit, and then I got them a little something to eat, and they stepped back until I put it on the bench, and then they went after it. And now we've got a fawn been showing up that doesn't have any mom. So I don't know if it's an orphan fawn or not. I assume it probably is. But it knows its way to us.
Timeout. Connected WU7N.
Lee, are you still there? You timed out.
Lee, you'll have to disconnect and reconnect if echo link says you're still connected.
It's holding up the rest of us. I don't know if Lee can hear me. Ron, can you get a message to Lee to stop transferring the video, and we'll go on to Dave, KD7ZYM. There, I just see it go. I don't know how delayed my stream is. And Eric, I forgot to mention, I assumed that you were already there, but we have video streaming output to YouTube, so you can search for WW7ATS on YouTube, or you can also Google that and go to our homepage where you'll find the link to the streaming. Okay, on we go to Dave, KD7ZYM. This is K9PQ and the WATSnet.
This is KD7ZYM, and thanks, Bob, for taking over the net this evening, K9PQ. Boy, a lot of discussions tonight. It was kind of interesting to see if there was something from HDMI and some converter box that can bring that over to NTSC, so you can use it on an analog TV output or input. So that's kind of cool to find out. Today I was out junking and I found a black box that was on a gooseneck and apparently was an NTSC reader of some type and a camera. And I was able to test it out against the TV set, and it was kaplunk. And it was kind of interesting. It had a zoom control on it, and black and white color. It had an automatic focus on it and a manual focus, but none of that seemed to work once I got it connected to an NTSC input on a TV set at the place where I found it. So needless to say, it's still there. It would have been kind of a neat thing to have if it worked, but it just didn't do it. So that was kind of fun this afternoon, doing a little bit of junking. And that's pretty much what I did this afternoon, and got a lot of yard work done yesterday, and that stuff all went out and recycled today. Filled up one of those 90-gallon bins with moss and grass empty the yard. Hard to believe that it's been a relatively dry spring and summer, yet everything seems to grow like mad, even with the loss of water being there every day. So anyway, with that, I'll send it back to Bob with KD7ZYM.
Okay, thanks, Dave. And Ron, if you could switch me in, I'm going to take my turn here now. There we go. There I see myself. It's still, well, it's better. It's better than it was before. I guess it's clearing up. So I might want to, at some point, make an adjustment to my video uplink. Although you guys have said on the live output from the repeater, it actually is quite clear. So it's looking pretty good now. Okay, enough about that. Let's see. Well, it's so we got the HDMI thing taken care of, and Ron, I guess I'll just say again, good for you on the recovery. It sounds like it's going really well. And Lee, sorry you cut out there. I think you probably need to delay longer between when Ron ends and you start to make sure the repeater drops. That's all I can think of. I wasn't paying attention, so I'm just assuming it didn't drop before you started. Gary, it's good to see you. And you, your signal was I guess about average for you. It was good enough I could recognize you, and especially at the end when you put up your ID, that was pretty clear. Hopefully you'll get a good signal in again, and I think I'll send it on to you. This is K9PQ. My name is Bob, and actually before I do that, let me break. Let me just ask if there is anyone else that would like to join the net tonight. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net, and visitors are welcome.
Connected N7KC.
Go ahead.
You got doubled up with the repeater there, Bob, but here I am, full wall, and there's the mug shot, such as it is. There's the wide shot, a lot of interference tonight from the hill. I see the checkerboard pattern coming up. Must be a lot of weather stations chatting away up there. Just going at it like crazy. But yeah, the antenna might have got moved a little bit, so the signal might be down a little. I've seen it better, and my lighting is a little off tonight. On the let me try this. See if that doesn't help a little bit. There we go. Okay. Get a little light on my face. Let me drop it here. Okay. Yeah, I've got a grand screen unit here that is hooked up to my network, and I got busy out here with my business and stuff like that, and I really haven't had time to put the time into it to try to get it hooked up like Bob's got it, going up to the repeater. It's all set up and ready to go, and it's got its own dedicated camera to it. And I got to get a video switch so that I can switch all my other video sources into it too. So when I get it going, then I can point everything out. Then I can put out a nice clear video signal. So one of these days, maybe. Anyway, talking about deer, Lee, I had a sighting here a couple of weeks ago that we haven't from 15 years out where I live. Not that it didn't happen, it's just I haven't seen it. The wife and I were having breakfast one Sunday morning and sitting at the dining room table, and the dining room table has a big bay window that points out toward the road that we live on. And what should my wondering eyes should appear but a doe and buck, two-prong buck, and a pretty good sized one. I think it was a whitetail, although I'm not well loaded with that sort of thing. I'll drop it here. Anyway, so that was a sighting I hadn't seen in quite a while, and my wife says she thinks they've made a residence out here on the back corner of my property, right where it faces an intersection. So interesting. It was a real, that was a real interesting day. Didn't stick around very long, that's all right. The traffic came by and scared them away, so that's good. And I picked up something at the goodie store, too, the other day, but it wasn't what I was hoping for. There was a little 7-inch monitor there that said it would, it monitored that it would pick up 2.4 gig cycle video signal. Well, that was pretty nice. I thought that might work pretty good. Then I found out that it's part of a system that you have to have their cameras, and they have to be paired at 2.4 gigacycles like Bluetooth. So rather than mess around with it and try to get a power supply for it, I had a power supply here that I experimented with it, and it worked fine. And came on, it just wouldn't pick up my 2.4 gig antenna, or 2.4 gig camera that I have here. So anyway, that didn't work, so I got to take it back to the goodie store and go get my money back. Anyway, that's the end of my diatribe for this go-round. Bob, let's get together and do this thing. Good to hear you. Good to hear everybody else better. This is K7HYB. Back to net.
Okay, Gary. Well, hey, on your next turn, I'd like to hear more about your 2.4 gig camera. Maybe I'm just have a blind spot right now, but I don't recall that being something that's commonly found. So, okay, well, we're headed back to Eric, KD7DQH, and happy to have you with us, Eric. Go right ahead.
Yeah, speaking of goodies at the goodie store, yeah, I found a Neewer NW700 microphone. Apparently it's a condenser element. It's got a little preamp in it. Yeah, feed 3 volts in the audio pin, and it, for phantom power, and works great. And it came with the rubber band suspension. It suspends the element in it, and it's on a, one of those extendable, lamp boom thingy whatnots. So got that sitting here in the shack, and someday I might actually get around to wiring up an XLR plug and pairing that with a foot switch, knee switch, or other switch, and tie it into one of the rigs and put it on the air. And yeah, thanks. Yep. So yeah, the question has been answered, and get some ideas what to look for as far as goodies. I've got one computing device that's got an HDMI output. All the rest of my computers are, I've got a couple of 32-bit mini towers or tower boxes over here. And I got one flat case desktop that's actually modern enough to run Windows 7 on it. And then the new notebook's about 4 or 5 years old now or something like that, but it's got an HDMI output, so whatever video I grab, I can, convert it into something that whatever media player it wants to play with. Yeah, do whatever conversion you need to do, and then throw it on that machine and then convert back into NTSC for at least any of the stuff that gets shot with the either I've got a couple of digital cameras, and the really fun one is the GoPro Hero 4 Session. This is a cube. It's 1 1/3 inches cube. I mean, that thing will go head-end exciters. And, of course, these take, NTSC baseband video and audio, and you plug it in the right spots, and out comes the NTSC RF modulated AM video at whatever RF frequency they're set up for. Most of them were to set the frequency, you got to open it up, go in, flip all the dip switches, and realign the output filter. And you put on basically whatever frequency you want. Within the cable TV spectrum, basically, and even in some of the over-air broadcast channels. And somewhere I've actually got a manual that's got the programming, the true chart. And I took one of those, the Pico Macom M600, and I got it in an old Heathkit receiver cabinet, along with a 10-watt amplifier, a VCR, an inverter, and the VCR, of course, can be used as the 434 megahertz downlink receiver directly, with a good preamp, I imagine. And just tune it to that channel, and off it goes. And that makes it kind of convenient for the transmit side, because then you can either play a VHS cassette or, plug a camera into the thing and either have live or tape delay for transmitting. And I've got the output of the VCR plumbed into the input of the TV exciter. And like I say, I got that running through an old Downey's microwave 10-watt, basically old modular amplifier, so this RF power, linear RF power modules, and it's got its own Hammond enclosure, so it's in-out power and ground, and off you go. And it works rather marvelously. I've measured about 5, 6 watts, 10 watts output on it, and hooked it up to an antenna and used it once at field day to transmit my call sign from one side of the field day site to the other, and get that 100 points for cool technology that year. The cool technology points for doing weirdness at field day. So we were able to claim that extra 100 bonus points for doing something special. So there you have it, my 1 cent. Back to net control, KV7DQH.
Oh, lots of cool stuff there, Eric. Wow. You covered a lot of ground, and you've done a lot of experimenting, I could see. That is very cool. Well, hey, we're getting toward the end of the net, so let's make this a 73 round, and we'll start up at the top again with James, WU7N. Go ahead, James.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Bob, Eric, and thanks for letting us know what you have. There's a picture, a lot better picture than the last one I had up, of what my little box looks like. I mean, it's, as you can see, it's got the little, they call it CDBS, apropos. But anyway, that's the 1-to-1 volt video output, and as you can see, it takes the 1080p. And it's this little box. It does require a USB power input over on the side, and it lets you take in either, it'll put out either NTSC or PAL. We use NTSC since we're not in Japan. But anyway, okay, so that's kind of what it looks like. And, for a whopping $10, that's $9.88 plus tax. And this is my favorite part here, is their little picture. And I want to know what this one right here, what is a graphoscope? Is that a Chinese translation? Then the output can be used. They have it on digital TV, but only if your digital TV takes an analog output. And there's ours. There's a monitor, a projector thing, which is where we would put the transmitter. So anyway, this is the James WU7N. Good net tonight. Eric, glad to have you here. 73s, everybody, and good night.
Okay, good stuff, James, and yeah, it is funny, and you notice all the boxes look the same, even though they're all by different manufacturers, in theory. So, good stuff. Okay, on we go to Ron, WW7ATS, This is K9PQ in the WattsNet. Go ahead, Ron.
Okay. Look and see if I'm on the right frequency. 87QKU here. Yeah, no, fun net. Nice to hear everybody and see everybody, and glad to be back. I'm getting a little sore sitting here, so I'm about ready to go hit the recliner and put some ice on my head. So anyway, 73s, and I'm going to turn it over to Lee. M7KC, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry about timing it out. My problem is, it's frustrating, is that I cannot hear a beep on my phone and so forth when I'm using Echolink. So I just kind of trust that if the transmitter's off for a while, it's reset. And I think I jumped in too soon or something last time. First time I think I've ever timed it out like that. Should have had plenty of time. Okay, Eric, nice microphone. My goodness, what a nice find that was. And I assume that you didn't pay much for it, so that's even better. Okay, all right, I don't have anything else. Fun now, I enjoyed it a lot. So I'm going to say 7-3. And very pleased to have Dave back. Good to hear you, Bob, and James and Gary, you guys. And I'm glad that Ron's leg is behaving nicely and it looks like he's going to do a good job for him. So that's nice to get by that. He's got a little ways to go yet, I think, but so far it's looking pretty darn good. So 7-3s again, and we'll see you guys down the road. This is N7KC in Port Angeles. Good night.
Thanks, Lee, and yeah, it's been a long time since we've seen each other. I was on last Wednesday, I believe, but nice, really good to see you, and 73 to you. On we go to Dave, KD7ZYM. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, this is KD7ZYM on this final. Boy, I tell you, coming back here after being a desert rat, so to speak, down in Arizona, it was kind of nice to get this cool weather. Even when I got back, it was 80 degrees, and it was so much cooler than the 117 that I left behind. So this cooler weather has just been a wonderful thing to experience back here in the Seattle area. So I do love this cooler weather. And anyway, it's great hearing everybody on the net tonight. We had Gary, Bob, Ron, and Eric, and James, and anyway, it was great having a little conversation there. So with now, I'll be signing out. This is KD7ZYM.
Well, nice to see you back, and yeah, I guess this 80-degree weather feels pretty cool to you. Okay, it's my turn. So, Ron, I appreciate it, and sorry I messed you up by switching orders, but yes, it is my turn now. And yeah, not a lot to add, but yeah, I agree. Wow, that's pretty cool on the microphone there, Eric, and also on the points on field day. That's cool, doing the high-tech stuff there. Okay, 73. I'll of course be around to close the net, but this will be my last turn, and on we go to Gary. This is K9PQ and the WattsNet. Go ahead, Gary.
K9PQ with the WattsNet. Kilowatt 7 Hotel Yankee Bravo, and I'm just kind of wrapping things up here, unpacking my latest project that just came in the door today from Pennsylvania. So I'll be putting work on the bench here very quickly. Try to turn around and get back to them. I'm starting to get that damn herringbone again. I don't know what. Every once in a while I get the herringbone on my receive side on the 1.2 gigahertz. And Bob, just for your information, it wasn't a camera that I acquired. It was a monitor, a little 7-inch monitor that was meant as a mini security situation. and it would only work with its own cameras that are designed to work with it, so it wouldn't just pick up any 2.4 gigs and gig signal. It had to pair with the camera before it would operate. So it's of no use to me. I've got to take it back to the goodie store. And it sounds like there were some good goodies out there that people got. Anyway, I'm out of here. 73s, best wishes to all, and we'll see you Saturday night, hopefully, if the creeks don't rise. K9PQ, back to you for close of the hot Bob, K7HYB.
Okay, Gary. Well, actually, our last one tonight is Eric, KT7DQH. So, go ahead, Eric.
Goody, I get to tie the ribbons on this. Well, in addition to that, if you throw my call sign into an image search, you'll see some of the silliness I have gotten up to in the amateur radio service in the last, however long I've been licensed. Lots to look at there and scratch your head over. And about this time last summer, a bunch of us were calling around on roofs and towers up there in Cougar Mountain and dragging cables around and unsnarling that mess and moving, big 19-inch racks from one building to another, and was up there involved in getting the coax rearranged, deranged, and arranged, and lengthened and extended, and whatever needed to be done to get it hooked back up to all the repeaters, including the 1.2 gig stuff, as well as the 434 receive antenna, and the other machinery that we managed to get shifted over in a very successful operation, I might add. Although it was a day like today, it was a hot one. I remember it was a long, hot day, but we got her done.
Are you there, Eric?
Oh yeah. Yep, that was kind of a neat day. Nice, warm, sunny day like today, up on the mountain, playing with all that feed line and getting all that straightened around, and up on the messenger line and over to the other building, and somewhere around here I've got one last EIA flange fitting for 7/8 because it's it's hooking up the jumper. We used to extend the 7/8 hard line to make it long enough to get the building so you could get the ATV repeater back on the air.
Eric, I can't tell if you're done. I'm just waiting for you to finish so I can close the net.
Yeah, we're done. And I'll let you close it. And 73 all, Kilo Bravo, 7 Delta, Quebec Hotel.
Okay, well, I'm sure glad you mentioned that, because I have to admit I had forgotten that was you. I remember Eric, and I just didn't remember the call. And you were the coax guy, and my goodness, you did outstanding work, and a lot of it, and we all very much appreciate that. We also appreciate the CTAC repeater group. We thank the CTAC repeater group for the use of the repeater during our nets, which are 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Wednesdays and Saturdays. And with that, I think I'll go ahead and close the net. We're running a little bit late here, so this is K9PQ closing the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net at, looks like 9:04. Good night, all.
WW7KC disconnected.